Hey guys, this is another Stop Asian Hate video. This time I want to, before I start, I want to mention the advertisement. Though this was brought up to me through doing news through Next Shark, Asian news source, the leading source for Asian American news, owned by Benny Luo. He's an Asian American, and he's one of the members of the Asian American Pacific Islanders Asian support group. So there's that. So I got the link down below. Check it out. So apparently a 15-year-old boy named Leting Cai has been this happened in Rego Park of Queens, New York. So he was Leting Cai was at the playground with his friends when two teenagers revealed to be 14-year-olds, I believe, or maybe it was the other ones. Yeah, apparently they were harassing them and they were saying racist words at them. This happened on May 1st. So apparently, one of the teenagers called him two racist words. So I've seen one of these words. Angela Plays shared this with me. And I really thought about this word. One of these words is the C word. It's very offensive to Chinese and Koreans. Just don't think of the N word, and if you say that to a black person and you're not black, see, get where I'm going with this. And the other word is a word I'm not familiar with, but it's I know it's to mock Chinese people, and it is that is just racist. But I've heard of this word, but I've never had to deal with this. So it starts with C and ends with G. I think I have it saved in my database on Instagram. So apparently Angela Plays shared a post saying and she doesn't find it funny that people are making jokes about Asians. And the first C word I was talking about, it's an insult to the I. And of course, I would say this was a bad idea for Leting to do this, but he stood his ground and he literally dared them to say it again. Don't. So he stood his ground and he thought he had higher ground, but apparently one of them. So they were calling their friends to come over and beat the crap out of Leting. So they were trying to outnumber him. So the three of the teenagers they came and they jumped him, and when his back was turned, never turn your back on a bad person. You don't know what they're going to do to you, like. So and so Leting Cai told CeFaan Kim of ABC7 News that though that next thing you knew he was being punched in the head hard several times. New York, New York City police department had to step in, and they arrested 3 out of the 5. Like two were like two 14-year-olds boys, probably the ones cursing and harassing, letting in it, and one of the people who came is probably one of the 18-year-old girl. Come on, they're 18. They're sort of an adult, so they should be sort of responsible for their actions. So the suspects have been charged with the misdemeanor assault and harassment. And the New York Police Department hate crimes, the task force is looking on further. So what happened aftermath? Unfortunately, so letting he suffered a bruised head, a swollen eye, and a headache for weeks following the attack. He felt like his doctors really wanted him dead, and he was very scared. So what he wanted to stay quiet about it, but his mother told him that it was not just him that this kind of stuff is not happening, and it's about the community, and it's important for basically any Asian who get attacked, physically assaulted or verbally, to speak out about it and not stay quiet, because yeah. So government assembly member Rego Park, she introduced legislation that which mandates hate crime offenders to undergo counseling, so they don't do it again. And also New York City, there's been several in Chinatown and out in the streets. I've heard countless attacks. Most of them were women, most of them were seniors, but 100% of them were Asians as victims. This also happened in LA. Also, don't forget about the last year in the Singapore man was just on the subway trying to heading to work, and then he got assaulted on in the subway by a black man who was possibly a gangster, cause just judging by his height and also his strength. And he literally beat up assaulted the man because assuming he had coronavirus. So that black person was not he wasn't a smart one. It was, of course, that was around that first time. around the time Donald Trump was using phrases Kung Flu and China virus, and also the conservative twins, the black YouTubers. Yeah, you should if you follow them, you should unfollow them because they use the term China virus because that's racist, and tell them to stop. I don't know if they got that from Donald Trump or yeah, but yeah, they need to be taught a lesson. And also Joe Biden, he didn't even bother until it was too late. So even if you bother to help now, sorry Joe Biden, it's too late. So we thought it would be over, and even Far East Movement member Kevin Nishimura, the guy who started Far East Movement, and he's the owner of the Transparent Arts music label. You've probably seen it somewhere on YouTube whenever you're listening to Far East Movement songs. So, yeah, he organized the Asian American Artist Music Festival, and which also included Tiffany Young and Dumbfounded and a whole bunch of other famous Asian American artists and DJs and uh, and a lot of Asian Americans took to social media to try and talk about it, and we thought it would be over but that unfortunately that didn't happen, and it kicked up, forcing the not no other choice but to make the AAPI, Asian American Pacific Islanders, the Asian support group. Fannie Luo is one of them. Ken Jeong is one of them. So AAPI is it's an Asian support group that it's not controversial unlike a friend of mine thought it would be, but it's not. It's not. They give back 100% of all funds go back to the Asian community. So yeah, we're not stupid like the Black Lives Matter. And I'm glad that some police departments are actually pitching in because if looking at Montreal right now, so Montreal in the Chinatown part of Montreal, there was some vandalism done to businesses by some people who hate Asians. They think we're scum. So and this resorted to people, the Chinese Canadians of Chinatown in Montreal, and the Montreal Police Department working together every night to try and figure out who are the people who are vandalizing people's businesses like that. And of course, I'm gonna mention Davin Lee. Yeah, he was doing a concert, and he's Korean, and he did some concerts and performances in the USA, and he has been a victim of some idiots like calling him the C word, or are you Chinese, and then just in a mocking way. It's not like asking if the polite person would say, "Are you Chinese by any chance?" or something like that, you know. And he said he was Korean, and then the morons said, are you North or South Korean? Which you should never say. It's a it's a it's a trigger word for us Koreans. You should just shut your mouth, zip it. And he also mentioned on Twitter, of course, that how people are endorsing Asian culture, but they're not accepting Asian people, which is a big concern of us, us Asians. And if you want to hear a good song that supports Asians, there's a song called Stop the Hatred. Stop the Hatred by MC Jin and Wycliffe Jane, check it out. I'll have the link down below. Just listen to it. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good song. And I also have the link down below to the support link there. Wycliffe John provided, so it's down there. So if you ever need to, so don't hesitate if you see any Asians being targeted, so they're being harassed or being physically or verbally assaulted. So stop, step in, help the Asian person. So report it to the police. Report it to the incident to the local Asian support group. There are tons in the USA and Canada. But the most reliable, if you're USA, the most reliable one you should probably use is the AAPI, because there's this Hate the Dividers Asian support group, but they're Black Lives Matter supporters. And if you got Asian friends, please give them 100% of your support, because we need it now more than ever. So and just remember, hashtag Stop Asian Hate is not a trend or anything. And don't let people that misuse it because I've been told by a bird that leftists in America are misusing it for their own purposes, which is just disgusting. So check out Next Shark, follow Next Shark on Instagram and other servers. If not too sure you can check in with Benny Luo. Check out the music video by MC Jin and Wyclef Jean. And follow Davin Lee. And if someone like makes the joke about like Asians, like if you see it on social media or anything to make fun of that, the C word or the other C word, tell them to stop and tell them to, yeah, because they're being racist. And if someone tries to trying to look cool, yeah, I'll tell you, back in my when I was in middle school, I like some guy he tried to use the C word in front of the whole class at me just to look cool. I got back at him. He apologized. And of course the music teacher, since she was Asian too, oh yeah, she was furious. No, don't, using the C word is no joke. And of course, no, as a further note, black people aren't the only victims of racism. That racism happens everywhere. Just like bullying has just to note some people have saying some people are like saying like one person is surprised that what the people are teaching their kids in this culture. And they were saying some people are like supporting the mom for telling that don't stay quiet, talk about it. And some people are really surprised with the society. And one person talked about the 18-year-old girl. So she said, isn't a girl but a woman, because technically she turned 18 and she's technically a young adult. And someone said which I. And one person said, boy or girl, an 18-year-old attacking a 15-year-old is wrong no matter what. That's an adult harassing a child. So, yeah. I'm glad that there's a lot of straight-minded people here. Although I don't think counseling will do much. Like it's like making a toddler sit in the corner for like a few minutes. Show your support. Help stop Asian hate, because enough is enough. So for any social media post, you can use the hashtag Stop Asian Hate, hashtag Stop Racism. And I'm not too sure if hated the virus is a good hashtag post, but I've seen people use it. Because it sort of makes sense, because hate isn't a virus, but it's sure spreading like one. I'm CeFaan Kim, signing out.